In the communion of saints, every life tells a story. Today, we tell the story of Saint Josephine Bakhita. She was kidnapped at the age of 9. She was bought and sold into slavery more than a dozen times. She was beaten, tortured, and left with 144 scars on her body for the rest of her life. She forgot her own name. The trauma was so deep that she could not remember what her parents had called her. And yet, this same woman became one of the most joyful, gentle, and beloved saints of the 20th century. A woman so full of peace that the people of the Italian town where she lived called her simply, our Black Mother. Her name was Josephine Bakhita, and her story is one of the most extraordinary in the history of the Church. Josephine was born around the year 1869 in the village of Al-Ghassa in the Darfur region of Sudan. She was born into a loving and prosperous family. Her uncle was a tribal chief. As a child, she knew happiness, security, and the warmth of a home that cared for her. She later said that in those early years she did not know suffering. But in February of 1877, when she was just 9 years old, everything was taken from her in a single moment. 2 Arab slave traders appeared on a road near her home. They tricked her into stopping, and then they seized her. The terror of that moment was so overwhelming that she forgot her own name completely. Her kidnappers gave her a new one. They called her Bakhita, an Arabic word meaning fortunate. It was a cruel irony for a child being dragged into one of the darkest chapters of human history. For the next 12 years, Bakhita was bought, sold, and given away over a dozen times across Sudan and beyond. She was forced to walk barefoot over 600 miles to a slave market. She was beaten regularly and without mercy. In the household of a Turkish general's family, she endured some of the worst cruelties of her captivity. A woman in that household tattooed 60 cuts into her chest with a razor blade and rubbed them with salt, a procedure so agonizing it defies description, as a permanent mark of ownership. By the end of her years in slavery, her body carried 144 scars. But through all of it, through every humiliation, every beating, every sale, something inside Bakhita refused to break. She later said that even in those years, before she knew anything of Christianity, she felt something pulling at her heart. A presence she could not name, a God she did not yet know, but who she felt was watching over her. In 1882, Bakhita was purchased by an Italian consul named Callisto Legnani. For the first time since her kidnapping, she was treated with kindness and genuine human decency. She later described this period as the beginning of her healing. When Legnani returned to Italy, he brought Bakhita with him, and she was placed in the care of the Michieli family in Venice as a companion and nanny to their young daughter Mimina. It was in Venice that Bakhita encountered the Catholic faith for the first time, and everything changed. She later wrote that when she looked at the beauty of creation around her, the stars, the mountains, the sea, she felt an overwhelming certainty that something magnificent had made all of it. She did not yet have a name for that something, but she was about to find one. When the Michieli family prepared to return to Africa, Bakhita made a decision that took extraordinary courage. She refused to go. She had found something in Italy, in the Catholic faith, in the Canossian sisters who had been teaching her, that she was not willing to leave behind. The family took her case to court, insisting she return with them. But slavery was illegal in Italy, and the court ruled in Bakhita's favor. She was a free woman. For the first time in her life, she belonged to no one but herself and to God. In January of 1890, she was baptized in the Catholic faith by the Archbishop of Venice, a man named Giuseppe Sarto, who would later become Pope Pius X. She took the name Josephine. 3 years later, she entered the Canossian sisters as a novice, and in 1896, she took her final vows as a religious sister. For the next 50 years, Sister Josephine Bakhita served her religious community in the small Italian town of Schio with a joy and a gentleness that touched everyone she met. She cooked, she sewed, she welcomed visitors at the door. She was especially beloved by the children of the school attached to the convent, who would rush to find her the moment they arrived. People came from all over the region simply to be near her. When they asked her how she could be so joyful after everything she had suffered, she would smile and say, "If I were to meet those slave traders who kidnapped and tortured me, I would kneel down and thank them, because their actions, without their knowing it, brought me to the faith and to God." She bore no bitterness. She held no anger. She had forgiven everything, completely and freely. Josephine Bakhita died on the 8th of February, 1947 at the age of 78. Surrounded by her sisters, at peace, her face radiant. Her last words were reported to be, "Our Lady, Our Lady." She was beatified by Pope John Paul II in 1992 and canonized by him on the 1st of October 2000, becoming the first black female saint canonized in the modern era. Among the miracles presented for her canonization was the complete and inexplicable healing of a Brazilian woman with diabetes whose infected wounds had been declared medically untreatable. Healed after she prayed to Bakhita in a cathedral in Santos. Today, Saint Josephine Bakhita is the patron saint of Sudan, of victims of human trafficking, and of all those who suffer. Her feast day is celebrated every year on the 8th of February. She was stolen as a child. She was scarred for life. She was sold like property. And she became a saint, not despite what happened to her, but somehow, mysteriously, through it. Her life is a testimony that no amount of suffering has the power to destroy a soul that God is holding. And that forgiveness, true, complete, costly forgiveness, is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. Before we close, I would love to hear from you. Which part of Saint Josephine Bakhita's story moved you the most? Her suffering, her forgiveness, or her joy? Drop your answer in the comments below. May the soul of Saint Josephine Bakhita and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen.